Stop 24 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us back to Michigan Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan, in the Irish Hills, on this 2-mile D-shaped racetrack. As we're set for the Champion Spark Plug 400, 30 laps of action of this racetrack. Here today, had an epic battle at Watkins Glen, the last race in the tour. Let's see what happens here today on this race here at Michigan. On the pole race event at 180 miles per hour even, it is Keith Batson, the winner of the season at Riverside. He's on the pole for this event in the Texaco Havoline Ford, car number 28. Outside of him, Dylan Poteet, the Maxwell House Ford, car number 22. Second row has Jesse Turner in car 71, and he'll be alongside Kyle Matthews, the number 42 Mellow Yellow Pontiac. His wins this season came at Bristol, Richmond, and at Watkins Glen this season. Third row has Joshua Osborne, who has one of our 3 in-car cameras in today's event, the Motorcraft Ford, car number 15, and Mike Becker, who won at the sister track at Auto Club this season. Next row down has William Brock, the number 4 Kodak Film Chevy. He has our second in-car camera, the winner this season at Rockingham. And our third in-car camera lies in the Quicker State Ford, car number 26, is Sky Commons, who starts this race in 6th position. Next row down has Zachary Fitzwater in car 52, the Napa Auto Parts Ford, and Jonathan Sorlin in the Kodiak Chevrolet, car number 25. Hendrick Motorsports occupies row number 5. That is Charles Sanford, the DuPont Chevrolet car 24, who won the first Pocono, the first Talladega, and the 600 at Charlotte this season. And the man who won the second Talladega race is alongside, it is Jay Jefferson, number 5 Tide Chevrolet. So Hendrick Motorsports starts 8, 9, and 10 in this race. Next row down is Jessica Shelton, and actually 9, 10, 11, and 11, actually. Jessica Shelton is the inside in car number 11, the Budweiser Ford. She won the season at Texas and Darlington. She'll be flanked by Quentin Moore, the winner at North Wilkesboro, and a second race at Pocono in a Citgo Ford, car number 21. Next row down is Eli Bright, car number 8, the Ray Bestis Ford, and the Daytona 500 champion, and Cat Batson, the Keystone Beer Ford, car number 16. Next one down is Seth Cullen, car 98, the Bojangles Ford, and Preston Porter, number 18, Interstate Battery Chevrolet. Next row down is Cole Deaver, the GM Goodrich Chevrolet, car number 3, who is the points leader coming in this event. His wins this season came in Atlanta, Martinsville, and Riverside. He'll be alongside Johnny Garner, who won Dover this season, the number 7 Hooters Ford. Next row down has Nicholas Wade, number 14, the Cordon Flakes Chevy, and Becca Taylor in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6, and she won the season at New Hampshire. Next row down has Rob Evans in the Meineke Discount Motors Ford, car number 12, and Dylan Young, 2-time winner of the season so far, going for the Michigan sweep, and he's also won the season at Indy in the Brickyard 400. Next row down, Paul Minnick in number 90, the Holling Myers Ford, and Riley Spurley, tube in number 27, the McDonald's Ford. Next row down, Ty Dent in the Pennzoil Pontiac, car number 30, and Nathan Orman, the Jasper Engines Ford, car number 55. Next row down is Diego Yepes, number 1, the Skull Classic Ford, and number 83, Purex Detergent Ford of Vince Almarego. Next row down has Zach Winkle, number 17, the Western Auto Chevy, and Dirt Devil Pontiac, car number 40, of Mitchell Collins, the Pepsi 400 winner at Daytona. Next row down has TJ Denton, 68, the Country Time Ford, and Ryan Brommer, number 33, the Skull Bandit Chevy. Next one down is Simon Bloomfield, number 9, the Orkin Pest Control Ford. And beside him, Jose Mills in the Goodwrench Mom and Pop's Chevrolet, car number 31. The starting shotgun in the field is James Henry, the Factory Source America Ford, car number 75.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Commands to begin the fire engines for the field of 37 here at Michigan Speedway, as we're set for 30 laps of racing in the Champion Spark Plug 400. Dylan Young, as we mentioned, going for the Michigan sweep. He won the last time he was here on this racetrack. And somebody didn't quite get going here, I don't think. Yep, so, yeah, everybody got going, so, yeah, nobody's sitting on pit road. But anyway, Field comes off turn number 2 here. This is a very fast racetrack here at Michigan Speedway. The pole speed 180 miles per hour, but they can hit a little bit more than that in the draft. And we have seen speeds before, at least in cut physics, at well over 210 miles per hour going into turn number 1, and about a little over 200 going into turn number 3. So like I said, Michigan is a very fast racetrack, but it's also a very fun track to race on. It seems like, and tracks wide enough where you can see 3, maybe even 4 wide racing here. And Michigan, not quite as wide as we saw at Auto Club, where we saw 5 wide through turns 1 and 2 with about 6 laps to go. But anyway, so Fords had the front row spots here. Keith Batson and Dylan Poteet, who have the front row for this event. In-car cameras carried by Joshua Osborne, William Brock, and Sky Commons. Those 3 carry in-car cameras in today's event. As the field comes down for green flag racing, we are underway in the Champion Spark Plug 400 at Michigan. On board Joshua Osborne's car as that's what it's like to get accelerated up through the field, through the gears here as they go through into turn number 3. Osborne running right behind the number 71 of Jesse Turner, who he drives off of. Turner goes to the lead on Batson as they come off the 4th turn here. Osborne trying to take second from Batson, and as Batson drops to 3rd, maybe in 4th position now, as Kyle Matthews, the winner at Watkins Glen, the last race in the Tour, moves inside. Matthews led the most laps in that event. And he needed that to get himself back in the points as well, because he's right now currently sitting 9th in the standings coming in to Michigan. 3 wide behind there. That is Mike Becker, Jessica Shelton, and the Ford of William Brock. Shelton, another former winner on this racetrack. She won here, I think, one race. She won 1 race here last season. That was in the first event at Michigan. While Mike Becker, he won at the sister track at Auto Club earlier this season as well in the Richard Petty colors. Three wide racing in the turn number 1. Quentin Moore to the inside of Shelton and Becker. In the meantime, Eli Bright, the number 8 car, the winner of the Daytona 500 champion, moves to the inside here as he and Zachary Fitzwater try to slice their way through the field here. And meantime, look at Dylan Young. Dylan Young's moving up to the field nicely in the number 2 Miller Jr. Draft Ford. I think this is the same setup he may have when he won this on this track back earlier this season. And Young trying to go down and block Johnny Gardner, and oh my gosh, they were almost 4 wide going into turn number 1. As Young blows by both Seth Cole and Charles Sanford, and now inside goes William, and he's inside of William Brock. That's Seth in the 98, and Sanford getting shuffled back in the 24 car. And meantime, Jay Jefferson in the 5, Sky Cummins in 26. They both moved to the inside, as well as Cole Deaver in the 3 car. Riding with Sky Cummins in the number 26 machine. He's had a great run at the Brickyard 400 last couple races to go, as well as the second race at Pocono. Running right behind the 5 of Jay Jefferson. Now we're inside the Quaker State Ford. See how fast Sky Cummins goes in the draft. 187 miles an hour across the start-finish line. 189, 190, 190 miles an hour to turn number 1. 191 miles an hour to turn number 1. And down about 166 to the middle of 1 and 2. And now it comes on the backstretch. 178 miles an hour, 179, 80, 82, 84, 185 miles an hour, 186 miles an hour to turn number 3 for Sky Commons. So Collins now rides in 13th position, getting in the draft off Cole Deaver, but now Deaver moves inside. Deaver with a points advantage now of 158 coming into Michigan, by the way. As Jessica Shelton, who now moves inside of both William Brock and Joshua Osborne. Shelton keeping the pressure on Deaver for the moment, but actually, Shelton trying not to let Deaver get too far away. Actually, to try in her quest for a 5th championship. But she's going to need Deaver to start stumbling just a little bit here in the last few races we got left in the season. But Deaver's car's been so consistent this season, it's been highly unlikely at the moment. But you do know the next race on the tour is the night race however, is the night race at Bristol. And that is next on the tour, and that track can be a wild card for anything. Meantime, Kyle Matthews back on top, just like we left him at Watkins Glen, up in the front. With second place now Quentin Moore. Third is now Eli Bryce. He moves inside of Shelton, gets by him. And now Keith Batson moves inside of William Brock in the number 4 Kodak Film Chevy. Inside with William Brock. And Brock seems to do well on this type of track anyway as well. In those 2-mile D-shapers. He has a win at California Speedway, by the way, this season. Auto Club Speedway, that is. And he did, I think, a couple seasons back as he now moves in, and as he gets by Keith Batson, does it on the outside of the track. That's very impressive as he gets a draft off Eli Bright. Let's see how fast he goes into turn number 3. 186, 87 miles an hour, 187 into the third turn. And down about 170 through the third and fourth turns. And now floors the throw. See, and he's been trying to get the draft off Quentin Moore in 21 Sitco Ford. Let's see how fast he goes. 187 miles an hour to turn number 188 into turn number 1. Brock running in third position. Keith Batson right behind in fourth, and here comes number 21, Quentin Moore. He's also a former Michigan winner, just like Kyle Matthews is as well. As Quentin brings the Morgan Shepherd cars up to the field right now, the 21 Sitco machine for the Wood brothers, and he has won with this paint scheme before, as a matter of fact, too. So Quentin seems to do pretty well here at Michigan. In fact, he finished second in this race last season to Zachary Fitzwater, who right now sits in the 10th position, but they were almost 4 wide back there with Gardner, Deaver, Dylan Poteet, and I think that was Eli Bright in the 8 car. And all these guys slicing and dicing back there as we watch Johnny Gardner in the 7 car, making it 3 wide on Poteet and Cole Deaver. Through the third and fourth turns they come here. Gardner, I think, appears to have the inside groove, but the outside lane has been excellent as well. And look at this battle for the lead. 5 cars. You can throw a blanket over right there as Quentin Moore looks inside. 3 wide for third position between Seth Cole, Kyle Matthews, and Keith Batson. And Quentin Moore's going to pull ahead of William Brock for the moment, but Brock's got the momentum on the outside of the track here. And it should give him more straightaway speed going into the third turn. It does, 183 to 181, but Moore still pulls ahead. And boy, they were 800 of a second the last time by between first and fourth. Looks almost like a Talladega draft. And meantime, and they're catching up on lap traffic. That's Jose Mills in 31. And they're going to catch up. They're going to catch up with them, I think, on the backstretch. I'm not sure. If not the backstretch, maybe the front stretch, possibly. Averaging over 180 miles an hour so far after 12 laps here at Michigan Speedway, as in this fast-paced Champion Spark Plug 400. As we'll be down to 17 laps to go this time by. As now Moore gets a draft off Jose Mills in 31. Fast lane race so far set by Rob Evans at 183.244 miles per hour. Let's check and see where Rob is at right now. Here, speaking of him, he is running right now in the 26th position, going inside of Jessica Shelton, who's slid back, along with Mike Becker and several of the other top cars in this race. And Evans is got the draft off the 1 of Diego Yepes. Nathan Orman just up ahead in the 55 car. Ty Dent in the 30 car, and they're coming up on this hornet's nest that is the lead pack. In fact, they did get bunched up by the 31 car of Jose Mills, who is trying to stay out of the way. And they are 3 wide back there, a couple 3 rows deep. This is some exciting stuff here at Michigan. And William Brooks right in the eye of the storm here in that number 4 Kodak Chevy. And that's what it's like to ride inside of a hornet's nest here from William Brock's view. And there's Joshua Osborne's view, number 15, the Motorcraft Ford, running right behind Sky Combs, who has our third camera. There he is. Commons running in 7th position at the moment as Quentin Moore's now lost the lead, I think, now to Dylan Young. And now moving inside of Jesse Turner. Turner up in the 71 car as Dylan Young's pulled ahead of this pack here. And where did Jonathan Zornan and Becca Tellier come from? Zornan in 25, Tellier in the 6. And oh my goodness, I thought I saw 4 wide back there on the front stretch, and they were almost 4 wide right there as Sanford and Becker almost get into each other as they touched in the middle of 1 and 2. Shelton, meanwhile, took a power move 4 wide to the inside and gained some positions, but now she's on the outside of Jay Jefferson in the 5. And Sky Commons, meantime, way down on the inside of the racetrack here as Dylan Young still leads the race here, but now you got KB teammates here, Keith Batson and Becca Tellier running nose to tail. That's how they finished the last race. That's how they finished at New Hampshire, with Tellier taking the win in that race. Batson, meanwhile, was looking for a second victory of the season as well, likewise with Tellier, as Batson won the season at Sonoma, and Tellier was the winner, as we said, at New Hampshire. And now 3 wide again, Osborne, Moore, and Batson. In the meantime, Sky Commons in 26 looks for the lead here. And we are closing up on 10 laps to go right now. This will be 19 in the books and 11 to go this time by. And Osborne was in the 3rd position now, in the red 15 behind Commons in the green 26. 2 Fords trying to chase down the Pontiac. And as we said, in 1993, the year of this car set right there, Fords ruled the roost. As far as the manufacturer's breakdown was concerned, they had a great aerodynamic package in the 90s, all through the 90s for that fact. And here comes Osborne to the inside of Commons for second place there. Dylan Young, as we said, going for the Michigan sweep. Down the backstretch here, Commons just ahead of Osborne here. Now Kyle Matthews in 42 up the 4th position. But look at Kat Batson in 16, the 3rd KB Enterprises machine. As she gets a run on Matthews off the 4th turn. They're side by side. That's for 4th place. Matthews holds it for the moment, but Tellier gets a draft off, but Batson gets a draft off Osborne. And now we got problems in 1 and 2. James Henry has crashed here. There's Jose Mills is spun. And Spurley Tubes crash on there. 27. He slams in the Henry's car. Mike Becker's crashed. And battle for the lead. Sky Commons and Dylan Young. As the yellow flag is waved on the 21st lap of the event, they'll have 9 to go this time by, and Commons wins the race back to the start-finish line and Commons gets to the start-finish line first, and they better slow it down considerably right there and be careful because they were 3 wide back there on the front stretch. Jose Mills crashed. Mike Becker, who has such a good run earlier on, he's crashed. So a 5-car crash happened in turns 1 and 2 on lap number 21 here at Michigan. They went into turn number 1. They got 4 wide into the first turn. It's Spurley Tube, Diego Yepes, and those two got into each other. The 27 and 44 cars did. They crashed into each other. Then 75 car of 75 James Henry got down into Jose Mills, crashed into him. Watch Spurley Tube in the 27. He'll come in right about now. And he slams into the 75 James Henry, turns him around. Major hoodbuck on the 27 McDonald's machine. That's pretty much Spurley Tube season in a nutshell, just about it. In the 27 machine, he has some good runs, but then just it all falls apart. James Henry, he was in a mess in the 75 car. There's Spurley Tube in 27. Mike Becker, he is up in the top 10 at point chase. That's going to drop him down just a little bit. He's back on the track at the moment, and James Henry and Spurley Tube both sitting there on pit road. Vince Almarego, a little bit of his side just about caved in on the 83 car, so apparently he might still make a run for it, but I don't know. He may be off pace, actually, once we get back to racing. So 3 cars out of the race here. Riley Spurley Tube's out of the race, as is the 75 of James Henry, both because of crashes and a fuel injector problem on the 31 car of Jose Mills. So a fuel injector failure on the 31 Mom and Pop's Good Wrench Chevy, and that's what knocked Jose Mills out of the race. So those 3 will be the last finishers of the event here today at Michigan. We'll set the field for you. We'll have a 5-lap dash to a checkered flag here at Michigan Speedway. It is Sky Commons looking for his first ever Castrol GTX Cup Series victory. He's in the lead right now. And that Quick Estate car has been pretty strong this season so far. Dylan Young is in second position looking for the Michigan sweep. Joshua Osborne looking for his first win of the season. And the Motorcraft car is in third. Fourth is Kat Batson. She's looking for her first of the season. Kyle Mick is looking for a series-leading 4th win of the year. He's in the Mellow Yellow car looking for 2 in a row. He's in 5th. Eli Bright 6th. He's looking for his second victory of the season. Becca Toya looking for her 2nd. She's in 7th. Jay Jefferson looking for his 2nd. He's in an 8th position. Cole Dearman looking for his 4th of the season. He's in 9th. And Johnny Garner looking for his 2nd victory of the season is in 10th position. So here they come for green flag racing. It'll be on lap number 26 when we get the green flag out. And it's car number 26 out in front. Sky Commons, and he gets a good restart, but Dylan Young got a good one as well. And Kyle is up on the high side as his Kat Batson. And as the top 5 remain single file into turn number 1. Batson makes a move inside of Osborne. That's Kat Batson, that is. Matthews is gonna try to help, and Matthews says to heck with that. And now here comes Dylan Young for the lead, and Scott Combs plain to see was a sit and duck on that restart in that 26 machine. Because you got the draft right behind you and stuff like that. If you're the lead of the race, you're very much a sit and duck. Four laps to go. Kat Batson, car 16 to the inside. She looks for the lead. Osborne trying to shove her. Got two of the KB Enterprises cars, a 16 and a 6 right there behind two of the Roush prepared machines. As they come out of the backstretch into turn number 3 now. Dylan Young still out in front. In car number 2 as he's been the dominant car all day so far. Pontiac trying to hold off a snarling pack of Fords. 4 of them to be exact. And you got another Pontiac behind with Kyle Matthews now with 3 laps to go. Matthews to the high side. Here comes Gardner 20 in the 7 car. Johnny Gardner says, I want to go for it. And he's going to move inside of Taylor Spolster Party for her. And now Quentin Moore moves up behind in the number 21 car. It's still Young, Batson, and Osborne, the top 3. But Johnny Gardner, watch out for that 7 car. I think he may be in the catbird seat, possibly. But Dylan Young, he's right there. He's still leading them all down, though. But they don't have much to go. They don't have much to go. 2 laps to go. Osborne looks inside. He's got no drafting help behind him. As Gardner remains with the 16 of Batson. Off the second turn. Can Dylan Young hold them all off to Sweet Michigan? Batson looks to the inside of the racetrack in the 3rd turn. She's got to run. But Dylan says, nuh-uh. And as they go to the 3rd and 4th turns now, Young got robbed of a win with 2 to go. 1 time at Michigan by Jessica Shelton. He hopes to not let that happen again. The white flag waves. 1 lap to go at Michigan in the Champion Spark Plug 400. Kat Batson's got 1 more lap to try to make her shot. Dylan Young breaks the momentum right now. Off the second turn, he has about 3 car lengths on Batson. As they come off the second turn now, Batson and Osborne trying to draft. But that 2 car is looking pretty strong now, and that's going to be the dagger right there. Osborne looks inside of Batson for 2nd place. And off the 4th turn they come. Car number 2, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford, gets his 3rd victory of the season. Batson looks to the inside of Young. And there it is. Dylan Young wins the Champion Spark Plug 400 by just a half a car length over Batson. I was almost too early on that call right there. Kat Batson had a run off the 4th turn. I thought she might have had a shot at Dylan Young at the start-finish line, but the original call was right. Dylan Young gets his 3rd victory of the season, and he has swept Michigan this season. As the Miller Genuine Draft Ford has also won the first race here at Michigan and also won the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis. That car, very dangerous on those aerodynamic tracks. Him and he's taking a cool down lap of honor, but I don't know what Becca Tellier's doing in the 6th car. She apparently missed the entrance of the pit road. But anyway, average speed 149.001. Margin of victory 0.04 of a second at the start-finish line between those 2 cars. So 24 races are in the books, and I think we got about 10 to go. I think after this 10 or 11 to go, whichever. But Dylan Young takes the win here. Kat Batson 2nd. Joshua Osborne 3rd. 4th will go to Becca Tellier. 5th will go to Kyle Matthews. 6th to Johnny Gardner. 7th to Zachary Fitzwater. Quentin Moore 8th. Jay Jefferson 9th. And Jessica Shelton comes home in 10th position. 11th will go to Cole Deaver. 12th to Preston Plord. 13th will be Jesse Turner. Then Jonathan Sorlin 14th. 15th will go to William Brock. Keith Batson 16th. 17th to Charles Sanford. 18th to Sky Commons. 19th to Rob Evans. 20th to Eli Bright. Rest of the finishing order: Seth Cole, Ty Dent, Nicholas Wade, Dylan Poteet, Nathan Orman, Mitchell Collins, TJ Dent, Paul Minnick, Diego Yepes, Ryan Brommer, Simon Bloomfield, Vince Almarego, and Mike Becker, the last car in the lead lap in 33rd position. Zach Winkle is the only car 1 lap down. Cars out of the race is Ed Riley Spurley and James Henry because of crashes and a fuel injector failure on the Jose Mills car that dropped him down to last place. But a great finish here at Michigan Speedway as Dylan Young takes the victory over here in the Champion Spark Plug 400, his third victory of the season. And that's going to move him up in the points. So I think he was fifth in standings coming in this event. So that's going to move him up a bit, and maybe back into contention for as of right now, second place as of right now, because Cole Deaver still got a huge lead in the points. So anyway, Bristol races. So Bristol's next on the tour as we're going night racing at Bristol, Tennessee, and the running of the Busch 500. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got interesting gaming videos, whatever president of the NNSCRA Seth Colazar's first channel. And please be sure to check out Seth's series, including the Last of Us Life series, the Coors Light Truck series, Pizza Hut X series, and the Hershey's Cup series. Please be sure to check those races out, as well as Seth's brand new Skittles Super Speedway series as well. So be sure to check all those races out, as well as our other NNSCRA series, including the Boaster All Pro series and the Marvel Studios Cup series as well. So that will do it today at Michigan Speedway. Congratulations again to Dylan Young, the winner of the Champion Spark Plug 400. For now, it's James Qualls. It's been a production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.
Greg, did you have any ignition problems?